What's up, everybody? This is AJ Crypto, and I'm here with Alwyn. Is that how you pronounce it?
No, it's Goldwyn. AU is
Gold.
the chemical equation for gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that?
It's an old gamer tag when I was in like 11th grade in chemistry. It just sounded cool back then.
Nice.
Just stuck. So that's the way it was.
That's better than mine. Mine was Sergeant Smiles because I used to smile all the time. It's kind of lame, but
I feel like you should change your name. I think Sergeant Smiles is a much better name.
Well, my kids play the Xbox and they use that gamer tag now, Sergeant Smiles. So people try to look me up by that. It'll be my 12-year-old son.
Nice.
So I don't know. I'll go by AG Crypto.
I think that's good. AG is the chemical equation for silver, just as a fun fact.
Oh, so we got AU and AG?
Yep.
Gold and silver?
Yeah.
I like it.
It was weird that way. That's destiny.
So to all you guys, this is our first time doing a YouTube channel, a little podcast, as you will. Basically, we are just tired of waiting for content to be pushed out for Elephant.Money. So here we are. We're going to talk about it live instead of on the phone to each other. We're just shoot the shit. Not sure if you can say that on YouTube, but
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
we were talking 4 days ago, and we just said let's do a podcast, and here we are.
Yeah, it came together really quickly. I was surprised how fast I could put things together using ChatGPT.
Yeah. Hey, I think you've done a great job. Your logo's looking amazing. Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to DeFi Springs because he's his little 1-minute videos and jumping in the pool is what kind of inspired me like a year ago. And I actually told him, I said, hey, I'm going to start a podcast. He said, I can't wait. And I thought that was going to be a year ago, but it took AG Crypto to light a fire under me.
Oh, no. This was all you, because honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and man, I'm scared, nervous, talking to people I don't even know, Well, I just didn't know how to get started.
I think the biggest thing is, when we would talk on the phone, it would be, 30, 45-minute conversations. And, we can just have those conversations here. Maybe it'll benefit somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into it, man. And, this show is all about just being real, just talking, just, hearing rumors, hearing gossip. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. Also, we want to be informative and talk about new things that are coming to the ecosystem, as well as, answering questions that all of you guys might want to hear or want answers to. The next few episodes, we're going to try to get on some guests, some people that are YouTubers, some people that are not so much into YouTube. Maybe they're talk a lot through Telegram or Twitter, X, or maybe some people that we know that are just into crypto that just don't get out much, but they want to kind of learn. So we'll invite them on and go through it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is answering questions. So, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments and we can address those on our next show. But how long ago did you start buying Elephant? Fun fact, AG Crypto was my first each one teach one.
It is. So, I would say probably April. I think it was April 12th is the first time I bought. 2021 was the first time I bought Elephant. Yeah, we'll have to edit that out.
There's no edit.
So yeah, 22. Yeah, April 12th. I'm going off of memory. And I bought, I think I bought 1 billion tokens for roughly 45 cents per million, which we're pretty much right there. I think tomorrow we'll hit that. So
how long before the exploit did you buy? Because I know that we were both in before the exploit, but not really far. Like not a
No.
long time.
So the first exploit, I wouldn't say it's an exploit. It was a that airdrop scam. So I got in before that, and I bought in at 45, went up to my next purchase, which was 48, then 50, and then 55 was my all-time high purchase, 0.55. And then everything started falling, crashing. Not hard, not like the exploit, but in my mind, the way I've grown up investing in stocks is, when you see blood in the streets, buy, buy, buy. So I started buying, and I bought a couple more billion, around 35 cents, 32 cents per million. And then it started working its way up, and I thought that was normal because I came straight from the crypto, or the Bitcoin market and then Ethereum. And, you'd have 25, 30% pullbacks in a bull market. And the last bull market was the first time I got into crypto. Thanks to you, by the way. You definitely each one outside of Elephant. It was, hey man, you need to look into this thing called Bitcoin. So here it is, right there. Boom, boom, boom. It's my Christmas gift to myself.
You wouldn't get into Theta. I was pushing Theta hard.
I know. I should have. You would have made a lot more money over Bitcoin, but there's always next bull market.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah. So it started going up, and I was feeling good. And literally, I was at one of my customers for my 9-to-5 day job, and I'm telling them about Elephant.Money. I'm like, dude, you need to get into this. You need to try this. It's awesome. I pull out my phone, and literally, I see the thing tank on like 90%, and I'm like, oh God, what am I doing here? So, I'm like, don't worry about it. This is a buying opportunity. The guy, his name is Matt. He might be on the show one day. I don't know. But
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, bro. I'm like, dude, you will retire off of this. Trust me, as I'm seeing everything just tank. So I get back in my car and I start driving off. And I think I text you and I was like, bro, what is going on here? And you're like, I don't know. And I think BT might have put out a tweet or something. This is not a rug pull. He said something that made me feel like, okay, this could come back. And it's so cheap.
I can remember that tweet. The tweet was, "This is the best buying opportunity you've ever seen."
Yeah, it was something like that. And let me tell you, I don't know what came over me. I don't know if it was divine intervention that just came down on me, but I was like, listen, sell whatever you have, liquidate. I think it was some Cardano I think I sold. And I went all in, man. I think I bought 40 billion right there on the spot. And I'm not a rich guy by any means, but this was affordable at the time. And I'm like, okay, I think I went from like 8 billion tokens total to like 48 billion tokens in in just a blink of an eye. I felt like, and I think you were like, man, I don't know. I think you waited, didn't you?
I waited the first day. I bought some, but I didn't go crazy. It wasn't until BT put out the first Medium article, and at that time I still didn't have that aha moment. I didn't understand the protocol.
I didn't either. I truly didn't.
And to be honest, I went really heavy into Trunk because I believed in the protocol. And at that time, I think Trunk was at like 80 cents. And I just assumed Trunk would rubber band back. So I bought a lot of Trunk at that time at 80 cents and not as much Elephant. I did still buy a bunch of Elephant because I know before the exploit, I was really trying to get to 10 billion. And I think at that time it was going to be like $10,000 or something like that. Maybe even more than that. I can't remember. But I remember that was my goal, was to try to get to 10 billion before the exploit. And so after the exploit, I think I went up to like 30 billion or something, because I was like, now I'm like way ahead of what my original goal was.
Yeah.
And then as it progressed, I just DCA'd every week, just DCA'd. And then I finally had that light bulb moment, and I went bonkers. I sold everything under the sun to get to that 100 billion mark.
Sure. At the time, I think I was, I had no idea what the protocol really did. I knew they were trying to be a decentralized bank, and I knew how everything kind of worked, but I wasn't like sold. I wasn't like, totally sure of what was going on, because for all I know, hey, it just dumped, and I've seen 1,000 of these small coins, tank, and without really knowing, the ins and outs, I took a gamble, man, a risk. So far, it's paying off, but the time I just got that mindset of okay, people that make a lot of money take risks. Yep. If people don't take risks, then what do they got to show for it? Yeah, so it came down to it. I was like, listen, either I can throw, I think it was like $1,000 I threw at it, or something like that, which was a lot for me at the time. And especially after something that just rugged 90%
exploited.
Well, at the time we didn't know what it was. So
right, you had half the community telling us it was a rug, and the other half saying it was an exploit.
Exactly. And so I'm like, oh man, and I felt really good about this project, even though I didn't have all the details like I do now, thanks to the community, Dune Analytics and all that.
It was Elephant.Money Herd's videos that really got me the aha moment. Yeah,
I need to get him on here.
Shout out.
He is a straight up math teacher, and I think that'll be awesome to just pick his brain and just ask some questions, like we're in school. Teach us.
Teach us.
But yeah, man, took a risk, and then it started paying off, and then before I knew it, I was like, this thing better not go back down again. I've got a lot into it, and I'm telling everybody, and I got people looking at me funny, like, Jesus, what are you doing, bro?
You definitely have been a better teacher than me. Like I strike out. I don't, I see it, and I just can't get the words to their ears. Like, I have, like my kids have accounts, and I've tried to explain it to my wife, and she's like, no, just do your own thing.
Well, don't even get me started on that. My wife is like, what is all this? What are we doing here? And I keep reminding her, I'm like, listen, everything that we've got into this right now, it was free money from Uncle Sam during the I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but the 19, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
The flu. So, when they were passing out freebies, I was like, okay, well, I didn't lose my job, so it's some free cash. Let's go heavy. And we did put it into Ethereum, thanks to you, and some Bitcoin, mostly Ethereum. And that ran up and took profits. Then I locked those profits in Celsius. So,
Yay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I had a battle back, and my battle back was with Elephant. So here we are now.
So what is Elephant.Money to you?
Oh, Elephant.Money to me, you're more knowledgeable in this topic. But for me, I think of it as just straight up a decentralized bank. It is made to have cash flow for all, to help provide a savings and a retirement account for everyone that contributes to it. And the best part is, which I'm sure you're going to get into and explain it better than I can, it's not paying us out by money in, money out, but actually by the returns of the coin Elephant. So if you want to go further in depth, I think you can explain it much better than I can, and I'll ask some questions because you're the expert on this.
I wouldn't call myself an expert. I'm just I spend many hours researching. Yes.
Well, let me pull up my screen real quick, and then you can walk me through what's going on.
Cool. So I think what you said is good. That it is a decentralized bank amongst friends. Is really the way it comes. I think the biggest thing that I see is you have Elephant.Money as your asset. That's the business. That's the stock, if you will. And then all of the other products are the products that are being sold. The iPhones, the Whoppers, the Coke Classic. Those are the different products that are like futures and NFTs and Stampede and what those are designed to do is they're designed to bring money into the ecosystem. And then when that money comes into the ecosystem, you have the treasury, which is named Bertha. She uses that money and buys the stock back. And what that does is that forces the price appreciation up. And unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum that's on central exchanges, and that really is involved in paper trading, in my opinion. Bitcoin is a so-called store of value, but I really don't think that that's what it is anymore. I think it's like gold, where there's just so much fake Bitcoin on the market that you're not really getting a true value. You're not getting a one-to-one exchange. With Elephant.Money, it's only in a locked liquidity pool or 2 locked liquidity pools that can't be manipulated. So you have the constant product formula, which is really what EMH was teaching, that really struck home to me. Is both sides of the equation have to be equal. So you have Elephant on one side and B on the other side, and both sides have to be the same dollar value. So as you put more and more BNB in, less and less Elephant comes out, or more and more Elephant come out, which leaves less Elephant in the equation. And because both sides have to be equal, that's how the price goes up. So what the treasury does is it has created, or the ecosystem, I should say, has created a buy and sell. You have the products like futures, which is bringing money into the system, which allows the treasury to buy the stock back. And as the stock gets smaller and smaller and smaller, the price goes higher and higher and higher. So
it's like a squeeze.
Yeah, like a squeeze. And so by the treasury,
what is this? This is the exploit. Sorry,
that's the exploit. But what that is, we should stop calling it an exploit. We should call it a proof of concept, because that proved what BT's brain had created. It proved that if we pulled out enough Elephant out of the LPs, that we would cause skyrocketing prices. And I think at one point in time during that first run up, price went up like 20% in a day. I think
right now the price is okay. Your price is 44.
Yeah.
I bought my first time buying was right about here, 45. Just tomorrow we'll be at my. Yeah, these are daily.
So what was the starting price there on that candle?
The starting price was 40.
So 40, and it went all the way up to 58 in one day.
I don't know if that's right. I'm on the day chart.
Yeah, so in one day, it went from 40 cents all the way up to 58 cents in one day. That's astronomical.
That's pretty crazy.
But
I don't remember. So, well, I guess so, because here's another day and it was up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
I'd have to look. But I know I made a purchase at 45, 48, 50, and 55. I made 4 purchases, and before the dump from the what would you call them? They're not hackers, they're scammers, scam artists.
Yeah, they were scammers.
Bunch of douches.
Yeah, and what they did is they preyed on, how Elephant started. They did the liquidity drive. So everybody pledged BNB, and I think it was 1 week, and it was you send your BNB to this one address, and at the end of the week, it gets distributed. So and at that time,
the Elephant token?
Yeah. So the liquidity drive, if you go all the way back to the beginning, there was 1,000 trillion to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
when you pledged your BNB, you don't know how many you were going to get because there wasn't a price. You're just saying, I'm putting in 5 BNB. And so at the end of it, however many BNB there were, that's what determined the price. Because the liquidity drive had 50% that went to the graveyard. I think it had 30% went to the LPs. The treasury started with a certain amount. I think it was 10 or something. I can't remember. And then the rest got distributed to the people that actually put the money in. So right off the bat, your value dropped in half because half of it went to the graveyard.
So was there two liquidity pools back then?
No. There was just one. I believe the second one didn't. Yeah, there was just one. I think I don't actually know when the second one got created. I think the second one got created when Stampede came online, which Stampede is which was the first product for the ecosystem. And what Stampede did is it introduced Trunk. And when Trunk came online, that's what really kicked off the first parabolic run. Because as Trunk was being minted, 25% of that immediately bought Elephant and put it in the treasury. So 75%. Yeah. So 75% was held in reserve and 25% immediately bought Elephant off of the exchange, or not the exchange, the LP, and put it into Bertha. So that's what started that. And there were millions and millions and millions pushed into it. And then the first drop was during that run up, you had a bunch of newer people come in and they were getting, because at that time, that was when a lot of airdrop scams were all over the place. Get your Elephant for free, do this, do that, and people would link up to them, and then they would be drained. And I don't know how many were sold off, but at one point in time, I think what started it off was a big whale sold there. They sold like 5 trillion, and then I think that's what I heard was that a whale sold like 5 trillion. And then the scammers were like, "Oh no, we need to dump." So then they started dumping, and then that
started an avalanche.
It started an avalanche,
yeah. So when that happened, I started buying back in. I think I bought in at like 30, 33, then 35, and then I didn't buy anything else after that until this happened.
Yeah,
the big exploit, which you called it what are you calling it again?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot what I said.
A saving grace or something like that, or a second chance?
Oh, I don't know.
You call it the second chance.
Oh, proof of concept.
Proof of concept. There you go.
The proof of concept.
I like it.
So
this happened. Boom! It went down all the way down to this little candle.
Yeah.
Right when I saw it was up here. I'm showing my buddy on my phone, and all of a sudden, boom, boom. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? I had the phone in my phone in my hand. I'm showing him.
And it actually went. I don't know if you can see the wick, but it went much, much lower than that. And then everybody, then people started buying back.
Well, didn't it go a lot higher too? Didn't it shoot up super high, but it happened all in like one. I think it did because it had to it had to buy an Elephant.
Yeah. What
shot it straight up.
What had happened was they injected all of the $260 million into one liquidity pool, and it lopsided the pools. So then they just arbitraged between the two pools to pull it back out. And originally,
so we had two pools at that time.
Yeah, there were 2 pools at that time. Because originally, when Trunk was being minted, like I said, 25% immediately bought Elephant and stuffed it into the directly. So you bought it directly, stuffed it into the treasury. Well, same thing. If it redeemed, there was like a buffer pool that would redeem. But if that buffer pool got emptied, it would immediately sell from the treasury to cover the buffer pool. And so that's what they had found out, was that if they force it up high enough, then they could turn around and sell it quicker than the system could update. And so that's what they did. They forced the price way, way, way up, and then immediately turned around and dumped all the trunk back in, which ended up draining the treasury. So now the good thing about that is that's been fixed. So there's no access at all to the treasury from the outside sources. So there's a ring of smart contracts around the treasury. So as money comes into the ecosystem, it stops in other contracts and it goes slowly into the treasury. And then the same thing is the treasury pays out other things. It goes into another contract and pays out. And each contract only has a certain amount that can come out in one day.
I tell you what, it's been a long road though to where we're at now. I remember
it is
weeks afterwards. I remember Easter. For some reason, Easter stands out to me of really hoping everything. BT would put out articles on Medium telling us what was going on. The FBI got involved. He'd tell us, here's all the wallets. I remember you and I, we were looking up the wallet addresses and seeing if it's moved any, or if all the funds are still in those, Ethereum wallets, I believe, right? They switched them over to Ethereum.
Yeah, they put them through Tornado Cash. So it got tracked to Tornado Cash, and it hasn't moved. So the end result was they borrowed $261 million, ran it through, and when they paid their flash loan back, they netted, I think, $11 million.
Yeah,
and it hasn't moved.
11. So, yeah. But for some reason, I remember Easter, being around Easter weekend. I'm just like, oh Lord, please let this go somewhere. Just trying to get it to go and hoping that I didn't make a mess,
Well, as you can scroll, you can see there was different things that came out. Like right in there, I think it was when the redeem queue started, and that put a lot of trunk out, and prices started going up. But then the redeem queue kind of stalled because it took so long to get out, and that's what we started drifting down until futures was launched in January of 23. And what that did is that kind of, I believe that's how Stampede originally would have evolved to. Stampede was still the old version ROI DApp. So there was hyper compounding, and you didn't have to add money, or it didn't subtract from it. And eventually that was going to have to be changed anyway, or else it was just unsustainable. And
so
good.
I was going to say, let's go into a little bit about Trunk, because you're talking about Stampede, and some of our viewers, might not understand what Trunk is versus Elephant, and what Stampede is versus futures. They might not know any of this stuff. So let's backtrack a little bit.
Sure, no problem. Trunk token is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go into what is Trunk.
Well, what Trunk originally was is it was supposed to be an algorithmic stablecoin, but then when Terra Luna collapsed, it became taboo to be algorithmic. And fun fact, the Terra Luna got hit with the same kind of flash loan as Elephant. And so when Terra Luna started selling all their BTC to fight the avalanche to keep peg, and that's what they ended up doing. They sold all of their money and weren't able to keep up with the swing traders. And so with Trunk, the same thing. What happened with Trunk coming off peg is everybody just kept selling and keeps selling. With Stampede, it was, you put money in and you could compound instead of having to, like futures, now you have to add money to the system. So those people that had, I don't want to say free money because they used their money and they played within the system, they had a lot of Trunk just sitting there waiting. And because they were afraid from the exploit, they started dumping their Trunk just to get whatever money they could get out. They thought that the death spiral was happening. So what
Yeah,
Trunk is
go ahead.
what Trunk is it's Elephant's version of a stable coin. Unfortunately, it's not at peg. So to be a stable coin, it's supposed to be pegged to a US dollar. And right now it's pegged to like 18 cents the last time I checked.
That's higher than last time I looked at it.
Yeah.
So, well, I tried taking advantage of that exploit with Trunk. I think that thing dropped down to 80 something cents, and then it went down to 34 and then went back up. But I ended up buying a good amount, probably around, I don't know, 40. I think around between 40 and 70 cents.
Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty good until I went further down. And then I was like, why am I so anxious? I could have just waited and bought more. Well, but I know that's not the thing to do. But at the time, that was what BT was promoting, or not really promoting, but he was like, hey, the whole reason it's depegged is because there's an influx because of the exploit and people selling. So how do you get that back? You buy it up. And he was like, he was like, buy it, buy it real cheap off PancakeSwap. He was promoting that, and didn't work as quickly as we wanted it to. And I think there were some bad actors involved selling it every time we'd go up.
Yeah, it definitely, it became a battle. And I think BT in the beginning was really, really pushing to get Trump back to peg, because that's, the only black eye that Elephant.Money has is Trump at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Every other, charts don't lie, right? The Elephant chart is just amazing. Even if you zoom all the way out and just, put your thumb over the proof of concept, you can see that it's just going up and to the right. So any naysayers that know, they just say, oh, it's Trump. What about Trump? Elephant's great. What about Trump?
Yeah. Well, we're not focused on it right now. Is that your stomach growling?
No, that's my dog. He's sitting over on the ground. I think he's dreaming.
Yeah. My dog, Coco, she was dreaming earlier, or probably about 10, 20 minutes before we started getting on this video call, and I had to move her to a different room.
Hush. Hush. Oh,
but,
sorry.
No, you're cool. Yeah, no, this is good. So, the Trunk token. So here's my question to you.
Okay.
So there's bad actors from what they were promoting back then, and still right now. There's bad actors that'll sell the Trunk token, which brings the price down, and it's harder for us to get back to peg. My question is, do you think these bad actors are just random people that are not knowing what's going on, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's up 10%. Let's take some profits? Or do you think they're actually like drip maxis trying to, help make things worse, I guess? Or do you think they're the scammers?
I don't think it's drip maxis. And actually I really don't think that it. Oh my gosh.
I say, gotcha. I say drip maxis because back then, that's all. There's a big feud.
So I don't think that it's per se drip maxis. What I think it is, I think it's smart people that are taking advantage of the game. They know that they can dump the price and it's going to go down 5 cents, and then they can buy, tens of thousands of Trunk and then wait. They have that ability. They buy.
So it's not bad actors, really. It's just misinformed, or people just trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to make a buck, and they're not purposely trying to do anything.
Nope. I think it's people that have money, that have played in the TradFi world, and just know. They know that it's going to take a long time for Trunk to go back to peg. And so at 14 cents, the first time it really bumped up, somebody bought like $20,000 worth, and it jumped up a penny, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. But that same wallet has done that repeatedly. When it got to what it looked like the bottom, they'd buy 20,000. It would go up 4 or 5 cents, and they would dump that 20,000, making $3 grand, But they just waited 2 months and made $3,000. And then as it went down, everybody else starts panicking and selling again, and it gets to a local level again. Yeah. So he's patient, and it bought. Who knows who it is, but that's just the game. You can't fault them for playing within the rules, right?
I guess not. I think that, and back then, I don't know if you remember this or not, but BT and Forex, they would get into it, man. They were going at it back and forth, and and kudos to BT for defending his project. And there was a lot of haters in the drip community trying to FUD Elephant after the exploit. And and I don't blame them for that, because of the whole thing. No one knew what was going on. But now that it's been over a year and time's passed, and not saying bad stuff about drip, because of course, someone on this call talked me into getting into drip, and that was the worst mistake of my life.
This guy. Each one teach one. Hey, you made money on the other three.
Yeah, but I was hesitant on going to drip. It took you a long time to talk me into that.
And it just looked so good. It did. And at that time, when I was, I don't want to say drinking the Kool-Aid, but I didn't understand tokenomics. It took reading Mike Drake's posts over and over and over again to realize how good Elephant is compared to everything else that's out there. It's Elephant being set at 1,000 trillion. There's no more ever going to be created. No more can be minted. No more. If the liquidity pools run down to 1,000 or a trillion, no more can be made. So then the price just has to go up. And at the time when I was looking into drip, it was supposed to be it's going to be a set fee, but if we do need more, we can mint more. And it took me a long time to buy into drip.
So and, what really turned me off about drip was the whole Ponzi pyramid scheme. Hey, come in under me, and then that guy makes a buck off of my buck. And I didn't like that. I was like, dude, I don't feel comfortable. Where's the utility in that?
And to be fair, I really think the only people that made money, unless they were just stupid early. I mean, if you bought in the beginning and it ran up to $130 or whatever it was, and it sucks because I watched a lot of videos before I bought, and I was big into Elephant before I bought into drip, it's my biggest loser. I'm not going to talk out of it. I mean, I made the educated decision to. I feel bad because I talked you into it. I talked another friend of ours into it.
$1,600, baby, down the drain.
That's all you lost,
like water. Yeah, that's big money for me.
I wish that's all I lost.
That'll be chumps change here in about another 12 months, maybe.
I look back, and if I would have put the money that I put into drip into Elephant at the same time, I would have had 100 billion more.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, any funds come your way that you might have put into Elephant?
I cannot confirm or deny.
I tell you what, man, if I won a couple grand off of a scratch off, that's where it's going in Elephant.
I would not say anything about selling a house and putting that into the ecosystem.
There was a time where it was an unspoken competition between me and you. At least that's how I felt. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, he's got 80 billion. Okay, maybe I can get 85 billion. And then I get there. It was fun. Now I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's you win.
Well, it's I don't know if it was unspoken, but I like how we got to our goal and we just kept buying more.
Yes. The original goal for us was 100 billion. I don't know if you want people to know that or not, but that was the goal to get to for me.
Right.
And you had good reasoning to talk me into it. It was the reflection deal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can sell 5% of what I have live off of that. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So
for those that don't know what a reflection token is you get more elephant for just again. You get more elephant for just holding elephant. You don't have to stake it. You don't have to. It stays in your wallet, and for how much you own, that's the percentage you get of the reflections. Now you get reflections when people buy and sell on PancakeSwap. So the 10% fee from not PancakeSwap, the 10% fee for buying and selling elephant is distributed. 5% goes to liquidity, and then the other 5% goes to the holders, which includes the graveyard, the treasury, and all the human holders. And from that, during the first run up, it was about 5% APR. So, when we were looking at,
hello,
when we were looking at it pre-exploit, I was all like, holy cow, if I can get to 10 billion, I'm going to get X amount of reflections a year. That can be passive income for me. At that time I was all like, man, I can get to 10 billion, but it was a struggle. Like at the time of the exploit, I think we were at 6
that was the goal. Billion. I remember you called me up and you were like, hey man, meet me at what was it, McDonald's? Come meet me at McDonald's for lunch. I want to show you this Elephant.Money thing. And
which is really funny because before I bought, I sent it to probably 4 people. I sent it to you and 3 of my other friends, and I'm like, what am I missing? Like it's too good to be true. I have to be missing something, and
I'll be honest with you, bro. So I made this whole spreadsheet and I posted it on my wall of Stampede. And I had it calculated out, and I was like, listen, I'm going to roll here and do this. And in 24 months, I'm going to be a millionaire. And everybody in my office just looked at me and rolled their eyes and laughed and pointed their fingers. And I was like, screw you guys. and then everything changed after that and kind of put a downer on everything. But, you and I went back and forth, and we kudos to all the YouTubers out there and influencers that talk about Elephant.Money, because literally this is our first show. This is the first time I've ever been on camera.
Yep. 100%.
It's crazy. This is all because of you guys, getting us motivated, keeping us going through the rough times when it was just stagnant, going nowhere, and putting out that information, teaching us, what's going on. And I just kept buying, just kept dollar cost averaging in, looking back, I'm like, dang, why didn't I put more in 3-4 months ago? Well, it's because I wasn't fully there.
All the people that are saying that they're late right now are just going to do the same thing.
Exactly.
In 6 months, they're going to be like, why didn't I buy more at 44 cents? Why didn't I buy more? And we went through that. I remember saying, when it hits 10 cents a million, I'm not buying anymore.
Yeah.
And now I sound stupid saying that out loud.
Yeah. But now, BT made it hard for me, because now I'm like, it was easy to dollar cost into Elephant and try to get to these goals and keep buying because we're early. But now I'm like, well, maybe I want to dollar cost into, NFTs. And we haven't even talked about NFTs yet.
Yeah.
This is a new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the colors, gets y'all excited. I tell you what, when the first round, what was it, like 2 days, you got, 2 days before the first round ended, it was pure FOMO. I was at my office and I'm sitting there trying to buy stuff, and people are looking at me like, what are you buying? NFTs? I thought those, were extinct. I thought those were all rug pulls and all that crap. I'm like, no, man, this is cool. And we're trying to get the black NFT. And dude, the FOMO was high at my office, and I was the only one buying. But everyone else around me was like, you can do it.
Well, listen, when I was putting the money for my house in, I was all like,
you sold your house? Put the money in?
I did.
Is that confirmed? Did you confirm that?
I know. That's unsubstantiated rumors.
Sorry. These headphones, I don't know.
But I'd asked SK, I'd asked SK, and I said, hey, I might might have a good chunk of change. You know, where do you suggest putting it? And he's like, oh, I think I would just go all elephant. But that was before NFTs came out. You know, and so when NFTs came out, I was like, you know, so my idea was I was going to buy all elephant. Sure. And then as NFTs got closer, I was going to sell elephant to buy NFTs. Well, that didn't happen. It happened so fast. I remember like scampering to try to buy as many NFTs as I could, because I knew even now they're amazing. Like I've already done the math for round 2, you know, and I want to double what I have in round 2.
So did you get the money prior to NFTs coming out?
Yes, but I couldn't get the money online.
Okay. So let's finish this. It's getting almost to an hour. So let's finish this up with the story behind trying to unload all that money, because I know the story. You know, you asked me, how did I fund my wallet? So for all you viewers out there, I have a Robinhood account and I have Robinhood Gold. And so I can throw money in there and I instantly get it. Then I can transfer it to, or I can buy USDC and then transfer USDC out of it to multiple places. Right now, I transfer it to a wallet that has a swap feature for the BNB. So that's how I would do it. But it would happen instantly, you know. And so Goldwyn over here asked for, you know, how am I doing it? How am I able to buy, you know, instantly? And I told him,
and for super cheap.
And like, for super cheap, yeah, the fees are crazy cheap.
Because how I onboard, you know, I buy Elephant every week, and my way is I buy off Cash App, I send it to Binance US, I convert it, and I send it to my wallet. It costs.
Well, that's not how you did it.
Well, because I knew there was limitations for Cash App. I knew that. So I already knew that there was a weekly limit on Cash App because I hit that before. So I knew that Cash App had a $2,500 weekly limit. So I knew that I couldn't use that because it would take me several weeks to unload. I liked that because on my daily purchase, I was literally running about 1.5%. And it took me maybe 2 hours. And that's only because I didn't pay the extra fees to send from Cash App to Binance.us.
Yeah.
So when you were saying, you know, your way, Robinhood, USDC, sending it through Solana to, again, Binance.us was like 12 cents.
Yeah, it was cheap.
You know, and then from there, converting it, I think, you know, all said and done, you know, I put the money onto Robinhood. They promptly locked it.
They're like, whoa, this is not usual.
Well, what is, I put a good amount in. I made my first withdrawal and it went flawless. So they had $5,000 a day limit, which we found out. So I made
and I didn't know that. Well, I might have known that, but I didn't think about it because when I'm doing it,
you're not doing $5,000 a day.
I'm not doing that limit. No.
Right. So
I'm just a minnow. I'm not a whale like you.
I'm not a whale yet. So I did the first day, went fine. I went to do it the second day and they locked my account. That happened to be a Friday. So I contacted them and, you know, went through the rigmarole, and I literally talked to a kid that was probably 20 years old. He's like, hey, you know, I'm Robinhood Security. I'm like, you're Robinhood Security? Because I mean, just the way he was talking, I knew he was young. You know, and so then they started asking me, you know, who are you sending this money to? You know, are you under duress? What are you using it for? They asked
you.
Everything. Yeah. I actually, to get my funds unlocked from Robinhood, I had to send in my bank statements. I had to send in the sell of my house agreement to prove where the money was coming from. Yeah. So it was a to-do, and it took them 3 days to unlock my money.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
3 days. That was during the 2 days of the end of round 1. So Yeah, so
I can't believe they asked you where'd the money come from. What does it matter? You're getting the money.
Not only did they ask me, I had to literally prove where it came from. I had to show them my bank statements. I had to show them, it had to match where they pulled the money from where they pulled the money out of. And then I had to send this out of the house. So they knew that why that money in it had to match the money that was deposited into my account. So it was a to-do, to say the least.
You lost that.
Long story short,
yeah.
Round 1 ended, so I ended up just buying all of it.
Well, let's get back on subject about the Elephant NFTs. And let's check these out. Uh-oh. Can you see my MetaMask?
No.
Okay. It logged me out.
You can blur it.
Listen, this is my first time. I don't know how to blur it.
Post-op or post editing.
All right.
But okay. for all those people that are trying to unload normal amounts of money, the Robinhood, yeah.
For all you peasants out there.
Yeah. So what happened to be is AG has money on his Robinhood account. So when he purchases new money, they use his money that he already has on there as collateral, basically. And as long as everything is kosher, there's not a problem. And because he has the Robinhood Gold, it allows him to have instant access to that money that he puts on. But it does use his funds that he has on Robinhood as collateral.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that at the time until
Look at you.
The incident.
Who's a whale?
No.
Look at that.
I'm not a whale. I'm not in the top 100 list yet.
You'll make it. I have faith.
Trying. So we'll just go and take a look at some of mine and show the audience what's going on here. My collection. So we have a wallet and staked. The wallet is when you have your NFT just sitting there doing nothing. I guess it allows you to put it on the marketplace to sell it, or just because a place to go before you stake it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's like your transfer hub. Are you going to transfer it to somebody else? Or are you going to transfer it to the staking fund? Or are you going to transfer it to the marketplace? It's not somewhere where that's your landing page. When you buy it, that's where it lands.
Sure. So from there, you would want to stake it. Well, I mean, here is my first NFT. Look at that.
Listen,
nice.
I like
nice
that
gold looking one. I do too. I was happy when I got this one.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I wanted a black, but I was like, well, okay, let's check this out. So from there, I was like, I felt like gambling almost, because you don't know what you're going to get. I think that was the hype. That was the hype at my office, because everyone's like, oh, what are you going to get? What are you going to get?
Well, my first 5 were all like green. Like they were all shades of green. I'm like, what the hell? And then you sent me yours. I'm like, what the hell?
What was it? Lime green or electric green? Electric green is one of the top NFTs that were minted. I think it was the third highest minted one. So from there, I got my first green. I was like, okay, this is cool. Green like money. I got gold first, green like money. Then my third one, I got a blue one. I was like, this is pretty cool. Actually, I don't know if this is my third one. I think my third one was a weird color, and I traded it to you actually.
The blue one. It was a shade of blue.
I traded you one, and I just found out yesterday that it's a rare one. Do you know which one it is?
The corn.
Did I trade you that one?
I don't know. I'd have to go look at mine. Corn.
I think I did trade you that one, and so that's 2 rare ones I sent you. So the cornflower.
Oh, cornflower, yeah.
Yeah, let me look through here, see if I have it. But I'm pretty sure you gave me this. No, cornflower. I got it. Okay. I was gonna say I thought I had that one.
Yeah, I have a corn flower too.
The other one that I traded you was
Heart,
I got the purple heart from you because I was like, I don't have purple, and that's my high school colors were purple. We were the Purple Panthers. Shout out Litchfield High School in Illinois, Litchfield, Illinois. It's a small town in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cornfields. But yeah, it was a cool purple one. I was like, yeah, let me get one of those. And I traded you Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Oh, what you sent me?
Yeah, and I like Fuzzy. Well, I like the name. I wasn't a big fan of the color.
No, it's a pretty ugly color.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly, but I like the name, and I didn't realize it was rare until like yesterday when I saw.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that
was one of the ones I didn't have, so that's that was the big reason I wanted it. And it was funny because I didn't have Purple Heart when we traded it, and I really did like that color. But then after we traded, like the next 10 I bought, I got 3 Purple Hearts.
So I got some money. I think I sold. I think I sold Solana, and it took a loss on that. And I took that money. I was like, I'm going to buy some NFTs because we're getting close. What just happened? They just timed me out. Can you see my MetaMask thing?
No.
There must be a feature saying that it won't show recording or screen sharing. Time too maybe for let me log back in here because I was.
Yeah, you could always pause too.
Yeah, I can always cut it out.
Yeah.
In editing. Okay, so I sold some Solana and took that money, and I was like, I'm going to buy some NFTs because we're getting close. There's probably like, I don't know, 3,000 left, 2,000 left. I'm like, let's do it. And BT just came out with the mint, the bulk minter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's try this out. So I went 3. 1, 2, 3. My second one was a black NFT, and I was hyped. I was like, yes, I got my first black NFT. And then I had some more money. I was like, let's do another round of 3. So we go 1, 2, 3. And I got my second black NFT. I was pumped, dude. I was like, yeah. And I think I texted you. I was texting you when we were doing this. I was like, yeah.
And I told you to buy 3 more.
Yep, it bought me 3 more. So then I ended up buying a few more, and sure enough, I got a third black NFT, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And I ended up trading that black NFT to some random dude who I had no idea who it was, and I took just a leap of faith. Like, hopefully, this guy's not going to scam me or anything. And after we traded, I was like, that guy was pretty cool. I'll do some more digging on him. I should have done that prior to doing it, but it comes out to be DeFi Springs. Shout out to you, buddy. You were the one that bought my black NFT. We traded. And
so how did you guys do your trading?
So
Jed, who sent who first?
So I put out a post on an Elephant Telegram. And I was like, yes, I got my third black NFT. So cool. I only need 2, me and a guest. So I was like, let me see if I can trade it for something, because this is before the marketplace was open.
Yep.
And he immediately wrote, hey, I'm interested in trading. And he wrote to me. And I was like, sweet. And then I got another DM from someone else offering me something. And I was like, well, this guy wrote me first. So I talked to him and he's like, yeah, I'll match what the other guy's doing. And he's like, we'll have a third party. And it was Jed from Flying. Yeah. Used a third party with Jed in Flying DeFi. Shout out to him, man. But he facilitated the trade and the deal, and it worked out fine. And I was on pins and needles because this is all new to me. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to get scammed out of something. So dude, my heart was beating fast because I'm like, oh.
I know.
And
So I had 3 as well, and I traded while I was like on vacation. And so when we negotiated our price, I said we didn't use a third party. And so he's like, well, what?
You didn't do the third party?
We didn't do it. We didn't use a third party.
Oh my.
So that's why I was wondering. I was wondering how you did yours. So what I had told him, I said, well, because it was for multiple NFTs. So what I said is, hey, you send me, the first couple, and then I'll send you the black, and then you'll send me the rest. And so the first one he sent me, he's like, okay, it's there. And I'm like, it's not here. He's like, no, it's there. And I'm like, it's not there. It's not here. Like I'm looking at my stuff, and it's not there. And I'm like,
yeah.
And so we go through, and he sends me the text hash, and it has my address, and it says it's there. And I'm like, dude, I'm not screwing with you. It's not here. And so I ended up, I think I had to refresh or something, and then it was there. It was weird. Like I was trying to see it in the my wallet, but it wasn't showing up in my wallet, but I could see it somewhere else. I think I went to OpenSea and I put my wallet in, and I could see it. And he gave me he said, hey, it's this color, this text ID. And I could see it in my wallet. Yeah, OpenSea, you can't sell there, but you can put your wallet in, and it would show you the NFTs in your wallet. So I said, okay, yeah. I said, dude, they're here. And so then I sent him my black one, and he sent me the other, and it all worked out. And actually, I still talk to him.
How many black ones do you have?
I have 2 now.
You had 3 total?
I had 3, yeah. So
it's a lot harder to get a black one now, I heard.
It is. Like I've been watching it. It's like 2 per 50 or something now. So I would like to be interested. I'll have to look at the Dune and see how you still have the website up. Pull it up and see how many. We can do that for the next.
I was gonna say I just closed out of it.
Yeah. We can do that next time. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how many black ones are minted now, because it's way less than 6% for sure.
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about NFTs, like what are they, but we kind of got sidetracked with our stories, which is fine, because
we can talk about it next time.
It gives us something to talk about tomorrow, or our next podcast. So we got to get someone else on the show, get some guests. You got any ideas?
Well, something, yeah. It was funny because I changed my my thumbnail to our thing, and someone texted me and said, hey, that's cool. What's this about? And we hadn't even started talking yet. I just changed my thumbnail. I said, oh, we're starting a podcast. And I said, if you're interested, you come on. So maybe we'll let him come on. I don't even know his name, to be honest with you. I have him in DMs. But,
okay.
So yeah, why not? How bad can it be?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to get some experts on the show and see if we can get those guys to answer some of our questions and talk. And I also want to try to get some people that really don't know anything and just try to talk to them and see, their thoughts and opinions on everything.
Yeah, get some new people. Just pure new people that don't really know the ecosystem and just to chat with them. That'd be cool.
So I got a buddy that's partners in a retirement company, and he manages a lot of money and doesn't do anything in crypto. So I'd like to bring him on and just, butt heads and see what's going on about crypto market versus the stock market and what's going on with that. See if we can bring him to the dark side.
Well, what we need to do, we'll use Crypto Stu's Elephant versus the World.
There we go.
Little JPEG or whatever they're called. Yes.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting late and I'm tired and I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not a millionaire yet, but follow us on our journey because we are trying to become the next millionaires.
Let us know what you want in the comments down there. We'll try to do what we can do.
We want to try to put out a new video once a week. And hopefully the next one will be a little bit better. And the one after that will be a little bit better because we're still new and we're trying our best over here, but someone's got to do it.
I'll have a green screen next time.
Yeah, I know. Sell some of that elephant money and buy yourself a green screen. I just bought one. Can you guys tell?
Not gonna happen.
I'm just kidding. This is my real house.
It is. I've been there.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Right,
have a good one. You know, see you on the flip side.
Sergeant Smile. See you
later.